Hello, this is Tom Capshew, and you're listening to my Consciousness Rising YouTube channel. This is episode 10. I'm going to introduce you to the concept of the Noösphere. The Noösphere is a concept that came into being in the 1920s by a person named Eduardo Leroy, by Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, who was a Jesuit priest, and by a man named Vladimir Vernadsky. All three of these people have used the Noösphere in a little bit different way that I'm going to introduce to you today, but it's going to be critical to our development of our concepts of consciousness and how to raise our consciousness to understand this concept as we move forward. So rather than telling you all about it and having you imagine it in your head, I've developed a little sketch for you to follow along with the concepts, and I'll go down and share the screen right now. I'll talk you through this little video that I created for you. So the white screen that is across the full spectrum of the of your screen is all that is, the great mystery, creative force, cloud of unknowing, Wankantanka, if you want to use a Lakota phrase, everything that has ever existed and its creator. Humans, we've developed a distinction between what we could call the unseen world and the seen world. And by seen world, I mean that we are looking at everything we can experience with our senses. And so a part of that seen world and a part of the unseen world is what I call the Noösphere. There should be umlauts above the second O in Noösphere, but I couldn't figure out a way to do that on this video. So the Noösphere is everything that's been created by humans. And I'm going to pause it here so I can talk a little bit more about the Noösphere. The Noösphere is the entirety of human existence and experiences and activities as long as humans have existed. So we're talking tools, we're talking homes, houses, buildings, skyscrapers, vehicles, planes, trains, and automobiles, all the technology we've created, all of the things that we have, furniture, tables, chairs, etc. Every human creation, concrete, blacktop, all of it. So that's part of the Noösphere, but it also includes all human knowledge and all human thought, all human emotion, every emotion that you've ever had, that I've ever had, that any human being that's lived on the planet has ever had. All of our opinions, all of our beliefs. So it includes culture, religion, everything that has been experienced by humans, including trauma and woundedness and love and romance, all of that. Everything human is included in what I am calling the Noösphere. So within the Noösphere then is each of our individual existence. And so I've got a little bubble there that is individual human consciousness. And as you can see, we have some of our consciousness in the seen world where we use our senses to perceive our environment, we also have some of our consciousness in the unseen world, where we experience concepts like beauty or art or hatred. Those are all unseen things until they become a thing that we've created as a human being. And if they're created as a human being, then they're in the Noösphere. They're part of the human's collective consciousness, past, present, and future. What we've experienced, what we are experiencing now, and what we can imagine to experience in the future. So when we look at the Noösphere, one of the things that we've created in the seen world is bombs. We've created the ability to blow things up and to blow other people up. One of the things that we've created in the Noösphere that is not seen visibly is fear. And so those concepts and things are in the Noösphere. One of the things that's in the seen world that is not in the Noösphere would be a tree, until you experience it and see it and maybe say, oh, that's a beautiful tree. Then it becomes a thought in your head that turns into a part of the Noösphere. But the existence of a tree in our environment is part of the seen world that's created out of the unseen world. Another aspect or another name for the unseen world is love. In fact, I believe that the creative force of the universe is love. Not romantic love, but that unrelenting life force energy that creates things all the time, is always creating. And so one of the words that I have for the unseen world is, or one of the phrases that I have for the unseen world is the sea of possibilities. And so when we look at the sea of possibilities, then we are looking at everything that has ever been created, and I'm going to see everything that's ever been thought of, created, anything that you could imagine. And so most of us are embedded in the Noösphere, in all the ideas and all of the things that have been created by humans. And our job in raising our consciousness is to spend more time and to spend more of our energy in this cloud of unknowing, in all that is, in the great mystery. So this part of our individual human consciousness, we move into, through different practices, that sea of possibilities where love exists as the creative force of the universe in the unseen world. So that's the framework. That's what I call the Noösphere Cosmology. And we'll be talking more about that in future episodes. For today, I wish for you to have a day where you can take a few moments to think about how much of your time is spent in the Noösphere, how much of your time is spent totally in the realm of human thought and creation and knowledge. And when's the last time you went out into the seen world where you don't have any concept of humans curating that environment, as we talked about in episode 9. So have a good day, and I'll see you in episode 11. And thanks for watching to the end. Please like, subscribe, and comment.